Welcome back to week number 2. And as you can see, I'm back with my sculptures, bringing them a little bit farther. So my life drain, my energy vampire, he is still the same. I didn't work on him this week because I needed to bring my wellness guard up to the level. That way, next week when I continue on, I can put both of these guys on bases and then keep figuring out their character. So for him, you can see that I removed this side and figured out the entire character in the whole, his expression, the look of his face, and then added these pieces back on. I did that so that I actually had a character underneath of it to put the helmet on instead of just adding a helmet and trying to see what it looked like. Because I wasn't, the character just wasn't coming alive for me underneath. So I did all of that, added in a little bit more of the rim. I started adding in the shoulders. And what I wanted to kind of go with is these two characters. That way they fit together. You know, let's squeeze that on so they both fit. There we go. So they're going to be similar height. I definitely think that the heroes could be a little bit taller. He's a little bit bigger and stronger. So that works. And I, added the shoulders just so that I could start bringing the character to life. Now, one of the things that I'm going to have to continue to work on, and I knew was going to be a little bit of a struggling point, was the idea that this is a strong, stable character. He's basically a guard. Think about like the, you know, think about the guards like in England, just steady, just strong, unfazed, unbothered. I didn't want him to let his emotions take over or get the best of him. I didn't want, him to have too much expression or too much playfulness or um, too much emotion to where he wasn't as strong. And so I had to kind of fight that line, especially in the face of how do I bring a character to life, but yet don't overdo it too much to where he loses that strength and that calmness. But yet I don't want him to just be a blank sculpture portrait on a wall that's, in that typical A stance, just looking straight at you. And then I had to do that same thing this week with the shoulders of figuring out how do I give just a little bit of expression and movement and kind of something unique to the sculpture without um, overdoing it or losing that character, that sense of stiff but and strong. And so I decided, let me mirror this character, the life drain. However, I'm not going to add that little tilt in the neck. I want strong, stable movements, almost like military state strong, stiff and rigid. So this is what we were able to create. So as you're creating yours, just think about all of those different things. Think about who your wellness guard is. Think about some of the moments that he has had to step up or that he has been on your side as you've gone through different things, different illnesses or different creative blocks or little mindset shifts that just took you down rabbit holes. How has he been there to kind of stand guard at your mind? Like when people are talking about things or when even people that are close and you have these big dreams. We were talking about last month with our prescription glasses and the borrowed lenses. You have a dream, you have a passion that you're going after, and you have a special prescription, so you're the only one to actually see it clearly. And now you have this wellness guard who is protecting that vision. So like I said, you have a prescription, you have a special vision. Not everybody can see it as clearly as you do. So even sometimes you have friends and family saying, you know what, I don't know if you should do this. They're not intentionally being, not all of them, not all of them are intentionally, just putting you down and trying to talk you down from your dreams because they don't want you to do it. It's because they're trying to protect you. However, your wellness guard has to filter out and say, you know what, I appreciate you, but This is my passion, and you can't quite see what I see. So I'm not going to let you bring me down. Even if that isn't what you mean to do, I'm not going to let it happen. I'm going to keep driving and pushing through. So that is what he is all about. Standing guards at the door to your mind, not letting any beliefs or negativity or poisons in, not letting anybody walk around your head with muddy shoes, leaving traces. So that's what this week was about. Next week, like I said, I'm going to go ahead, add some more shoulders. I need to add some armor or something to his shoulders and body to see what I can do to bring him to life a little bit more, and then add bases so that they're both at that spot to where they're starting to really come to life. So go out there, sculpt your inner hero, sculpt your wellness guard, visualize him, see who he is, go a little bit deeper on some of the ways that he's helped you. And I will see you guys here next week.